good morning, and one more time, good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today's vehicle, as you can see, is going to be the BMW M5. I don't know what the code for it is. They've probably got a code. We should find it out at some point, perhaps. But for now, let's just crack on with it, shall we? So what we're going to do, as always, we're going to... Oh, so I've already done this. I've put the front wheel at Y0, so it's at this point here, in grid. So we're just going to nudge it down a little bit so that it's actually floating as well. So let's grab the front tire. The origin of the front tire is in the middle. So with that selected, let's deselect the ground plane. Make sure it's not selectable. Select the front wheel, the front bit of tire there. Select all. Parent to that, and then let's round this off to 350. Should we say? About 345. A little bit lower, got a little bit of tyre crushed there, although that might still look like it's floating a bit. Let's have a look, shall we? No, that looks okay. Okay, good. So let's unparent those and let's create... Hold on, let's put the 3D cursor there. Hold on, are we actually streaming? Yes, we are. Okay, right, so what are we doing? We're going to open up a new window here, and we're going to have a nice, fancy, colourful one up here. And let's put the shading on this one, so we can see what's going on. Or we can see it in context up there, all nice and colourful. And let's, first of all, hold on, is that the centre of the wheel? Why is it down there? There's something fishy going on here. So let's put cursor to selected, which is, it's a bit, I thought it was a bit high looking. And let's put the origin to 3D cursor. Right, so that's the center of the wheel. Okay, let's create... Oh, it's got camera on these wheels as well. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix that as well. But for now, let's put the 3D cursor at X0. So we change it here. Let's change that to 0 as well. Round it off to 0. Let's create an empty at the center there. Let's rename this reference. Let's duplicate reference. Let's put that reference on top of that one, and let's rename this scalar. And if you've seen these live streams before, you'll know why that is. If not, don't worry, you will find out. Let's turn that one off. Let's make this empty a little bit smaller because it's massive. Then let's select one component, select all, go to edit mode, X-ray mode, make sure nothing's hidden, then deselect, and then let's select a big chunk there. Let's select the back, let's separate that. Let's grab the back, let's move it to a new selection, call it RR, which stands for rear, but you can call it whatever you want. Let's go to the back, let's select all, and let's try to quad those. It's done a nice job, but let's select those. Let's put cursor to selected. Let's put origin to 3D cursor, and then let's select all. Let's clear parent, then let's select that wheel with the origin in the center of it. Select all, parent to that. Then let's go up here. Let's move that to Y0 as well. And then let's have a look what we've got. So we've got front and rear, front and rear. And what I'm doing here is, if you look at the collections here from the top, this is the first one, this is the second one. So if I tap 1, it will isolate the first one, 2, second one, 3, etc, etc. Right, so let's have a look at what we got again. So it looks like the back wheel is slightly bigger, so we will keep both wheels. So let's turn everything back on. Select all, clear parents. What have we got here? I don't know why that didn't select those. I wonder if it was because I had backface culling on. Yeah, it could be that. It's annoying. Right. Let's start again just in case we missed anything. Right, so let's delete these. Duplicate collection reference. Let's go up there. Let's do that again. Select one piece, select all, go to edit mode, make sure nothing's hidden. Go to X-ray mode, select a chunk out of the middle, delete that. Select the rear, separate it, select the rear, move it to a new collection, call it RR for rear, move that to there. Then let's select all, make sure there's no parenting. Let's isolate the rear, double click that, / let's select that, select all, quads, tries to quads, select that inner edge loop, cursor to selected, origin to 3D cursor, select all, parent that to that, move this to 0, and now there should be no rogue bits of geometry over there. That's good. Okay, so let's go to the front again. Then let's put that cursor in the center there. Then let's move the cursor to X0 again, and then there. Actually, yeah, because we deleted our scalar. So empty, put it there, reduce it, 100 millimeters is good. Move it to the scene collection, rename it scalar. Then let's select all, let's move origin to 3D cursor. So the origin on every component now is there at 00345 in Y. Then let's isolate the front. Let's select everything but the wheels. Oops, not that. Select those. Select those. Select one wheel. Move it into a new. Oops. Move it into a new collection called front wheel. Move that there. We can delete this one. Let's hide that one, and let's make that non-selectable. Select all. As you can see here, we've got 143 objects, but there's nothing here, so we can delete those objects. And what? I've gone into some sort of full screen mode. I just don't know how to get out of it. Oh no, what have I done? Oh no. Can I save it at least? Alright, let's save it. Let's close Blender. Let's empty our bin while we're here. Why not? Let's get Blender back up. Let's open up recent. Oh no, it's in. How do I get out of this? Oh, that's so annoying. What kind of crazy person would use this mode? Wow, this is. Right, should we go and ask Google how to get out of full screen mode? Blender full screen mode. I wanted this for the longest time. It really bugs me. Is there a way to do it on top? Oh my. Now I feel that was simple. Assign. Oh no. Control space. No, that's not doing it. Oh, we are just. How do you get out of this? Blender full screen mode. Locked. Lock. Toggle full screen. How do I exit? F11. No. F11. That's to render. If you toggle Blender into full screen mode, press Alt F11. No, that's not doing it. Oh man. This is very annoying. Alright, what do we do? What do we do? Alright, what about if we go Blender full stuck in capital letters, full screen mode, Blender. Stuck in full screen mode, Blender X. To exit full screen mode in Blender, you can try pressing Control and Space. Control and Space. Oh no, that's the wrong. That's in that one, but we're in here. Control and Space. Nope. Try pressing Control and Space again. Alt Space. Alt Space. Nope. Shift Space. Or Alt and F11. Alt and F11. This is just. How do we get out of this? This is this is Blender full screen window. Unable to untoggle full screen mode. If Blender was open, not in full screen mode. Window down. Window down. Nope. This is very frustrating. Do we need to start again? If anyone knows, please let me know. So all I've got is those. And I double click. Right, let's just. Wow, that's just mad. How to toggle full screen mode? Close and reopen Blender. I've done that. Try the basic shortcuts. Nope. Check for a return icon. Move your mouse to the top right corner of the screen to see if the return icon appears. Nope, that's not it. Or is it? Was there an icon up there? What did I do? I pressed something over here. Right, okay, let's just start again. Or actually what we could do is we could append everything from that file that we just created. So let's go to cars, BMW, Blender, BMW M5, where is it? BMW M5, where is it? M3, M4, there it is. Collection. So if we just bring all of these in, there you go. Right, my apologies about that. If anyone does know how to get out of that, it would be, I would love to know. Right, so let's quickly change this to object. Let's create a new window up here. Let's change this to this so it looks all nice. And the pressure now is really on to get this done quicker. Right, okay. Front wheel, back wheel, select everything but the wheel, hide, 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 hide. Select that wheel, move it to a new collection, call it rear wheel, all capitals, doesn't matter, do whatever you want. Let's move that up there. Where's the other front wheel? The front wheel's there. Okay, select that, delete, select all. Make sure we have statistics on. Let's bring it back up again. And let's bring the front. Okay, let's just, oh, is there an engine in there? Okay, I know. Is that worth keeping? Maybe worth keeping. So let's just move that to a new collection and call it maybe keep. And let's turn it off for now. Let's move that to maybe keep as well. And these as well. Okay, good. Let's rename this to ground plane and let's disable selecting it. Let's go to here. Let's select an object. Oh, let's turn the bonnet back on. Select an object, select all, go to edit mode, make sure nothing's hidden. Select all, go to bisect. Put a line down there. Let's change these to 0. Let's change these to 0 and then change this one back to 1. Let's clear outer. That's that one. And then let's go with the back. Is there anything that we might want to keep? No, there isn't. Okay, select a component. Select all, go to edit mode, make sure nothing's hidden. Select all, go to bisect. Go straight down. Put zeros in there, and then put 1 in there. Clear inner. Then let's put our cursor to selected. Let's unhide that. So we've lost our scalar, so let's create another empty for the 3rd time now. Let's go to put it into the scene collection. Let's call it scalar. Let's make sure, let's save actually, that's what we need to do. BMW M5 FL for fully leaded. And let's zoom right in. Let's select the rear. Let's make sure we're pivoting about the 3D cursor. Let's scale in X. Let's match these up. Scale X. Nice, there we go. Okay. So the back is a little bit higher than the front. I wonder if we can cheat this one. I very rarely do this, but I think we can actually just nudge the whole back down like this and just match them up, and it'll be easier to match the back with the front as well. So actually I wonder if we just nudge the front out just a touch. No, let's not. So actually now that looks like the back wants to go up, but we'll leave that for now. Right, let's start by getting rid of all the stuff we don't need. We can trim, we can delete one side of these. We can get the petrol cap shut lines from that side, but then we can just delete the rest. While we've got that selected, we can put a mirror modifier on there. Let's just delete these bits. Don't need those. Let's select that, delete, select that, delete. Okay, and let's get straight into it. Let's isolate the boot and the bonnet. Let's go to bonnet. So we've got like a little bezel feature which we can hide. And let's go to front view. Oh, we got one on the back as well. So select that, separate it. So on the back actually it looks like it's got a lot of B surfaces as well. So let's see if we can separate. Yes, we can. Brilliant. Okay, let's separate just that and the bonnet again. Let's isolate, go to front view. Let's select all of that one side. So it looks like we've got asymmetry going on at the rear. It looks like there might be because of the lights for the rear number plate. So what we'll do is select all. Let's go to bisect. Put the bisect right through the center like that. Let's go to 0, 0 here. Put one in there. Clear inner. Good. Right, now select the front. Let's tries to quads. And let's see. Looks like it's done a pretty good job. Straight out the bag, straight out the box. And let's turn off grid, and let's see if nudging these makes any improvements. Actually, I missed that. Yeah, it does. If we go back, yeah, definitely makes improvements. So I'm just nudging the max shape angle, and it looks like we're getting a slightly better result. And let's keep it sort of there. Very good. What's going on over here? Let's just nudge that over a little bit. And what if we did that? Oh no, forget that. And let's just grab these and delete them. Oops. And this, 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 and this. Right, so we got rid of those. Let's get rid of that one. We could probably get rid of this little configuration here and just nudge these, auto merge on. Let's slide those over. Let's make this a straight line as well. Auto merge and slide. This one, let's do that for now, but we will probably come back to this, I think. Okay, good. Let's nudge this one over. Let's go to the back. So this is raising up, so we probably won't need any of that. So what we'll do here is we'll just delete all of these. Delete. Then let's select this. Let's try to quads those. And let's leave the settings as they are. Now let's merge or join that to that. It looks like we've accidentally deleted a couple of faces there, so let's bring them back. Bring it back again. Okay, and then let's go from here to here. And then for now, let's get rid of this feature. And let's go face. Let's move that one along. Let's go, is that duplicate there? No, it is not. Let's go face there. Let's add a triangle there. And another one there, and there, and there, and there. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, so that is shooting up quite a lot at the back. This looks like it's just a... Is that just a blackout? Oh no, hold on. Oh, it's all grouped together. Okay, so if we just select those and let's separate them, and let's see if we can do something here. No, we cannot. So let's just grab these, let's delete them. Let's go to here, let's grab like a little portion like this, delete. Let's grab a little portion here, delete those, delete that, delete some of this. So let's select all, knife, press C to make sure it goes through everything. Actually, if we deselect, if we undo that and deselect, if we do a knife now, press C, we do this, and then what we can do is we can select loop in a region. Unfortunately, it's picked a bit of that, but that doesn't matter. And then let's just select those and delete faces. Okay, and let's add a mirror modifier to that. Make sure that clipping is on. And looks like it's raising a bit too much at the back, I think. So we will have to make a little adjustment. Let's have a look what we're going to do here. We're just going to do a quick fix here for now. So let's delete that side. Is that mirrored? Yes, it is. So let's quickly isolate these. Let's select all of these. Let's go to tries to quads. That's done a nice job straight out the bag, very nice. Select that, tries to quads, very nice. So let's now join this to this. Let's do a quick fix up here. Fix up! And let's just grab those and those. So just deleting the little rogue bits and the triangles. And let's delete that one and these, which we don't need, and those. We could probably slide those along as well, just to give us a nice, a nicer density, because we're going from these spacing are all similar, and then all of a sudden it's a smaller space. But we'll come back to that. Let's delete these. For now, let's just nudge that up to there. Let's do the same thing. No, let's not do that. So what we're going to do here is let's just grab these and these, and then let's put our pivot there, and then let's scale up in Z. So we're getting a gradual change. So let's make sure the pivot is on active element, which is that one, and scale Z, so we're getting a nice gradual move. And let's put snapping on, and let's put auto merge on as well. So let's snap that to that, that to that, that to that, and let's nudge that one up a little bit, and then these down a touch. Then with this one, let's grab all of these and then let's scale them down in Z. And if we look in bottom view, or any view actually, so now if we scale in X to get that a little bit closer, it should snap, which it did, very nice. And then we do the same thing here, but this time we're going to look in top view. So scale in X, and let's look in side view. So this time scale in Z, nudge it down. It's looking good, but it did not snap because it's about a million miles away. So why would it snap? So what we're going to do now is scale in X, get it close and snap. Good, right, so let's see how many we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, did I say 7? I did, didn't I? Did I? let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that floor grid. Let's check the face orientation. Good. So we need to just get rid of one of these for now. So we just get rid of that one. So let's grab these. Let's grab this row, and we're going to do, oops, scale down in Z a touch, and scale in X so it's above it, and then we're going to raise this one to meet that one. So we're going to make a little bit of adjustment here and a little bit here. So scale in Z up until it snaps. Oh, snap! Very good. And then let's grab these, and then let's scale those down in Z a little bit just so we get closer. And then let's scale these in X, and we can go, so it's above that one. And then let's grab these, and then let's scale those in Z. And then let's grab these again and zoom in a little bit, and then scale X, get it close until it snaps. And then let's grab these and let's scale those down in Z. And then let's see how we're looking over here. So let's scale that in X. And, oh no, that's not far enough. That's nowhere near far enough. Scale X. There we go. Okay, so that's moved in quite a lot. But let's carry on, and then let's see what we get. So I'm just going to line that up so it's a nice gradual move, and then that one as well. So this one, hold on, so that one should be lining up with that one. Let's just hide that so we don't get confused and disorientated. So let's go this one, scale in, actually we can just rotate that instead. Okay, let's try shearing it. Okay, so we've sheared that one, and then let's shear it. Let's shear it over like that. Let's nudge all of these up like this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to grab these ones first. Let's shear them over like this, and then let's grab that one actually, and then let's shear these down, and then we're going to do the same thing here like this. Let's shear these down and along like this, and we just need to, we're just going to go to scale Z, get that one close. Okay, good. Right, now this one needs a little scaling in Z like so. Okay, and it's too far out, dude, in X as well, so let's just rotate that in like so. Right, what we're going to do here is let's add a loop cut. Actually, make sure nothing's hidden. So let's go loop cut here, press C to make sure it goes through everything. Let's get rid of that triangle there. For now, let's also get rid of these. And let's get rid of these as well for now, so we can see that edge there. Then we are going to just briefly bring up the grid, display grid. So let's remember that this is the center. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just quickly distribute these evenly, and these, and these, and these, and these, and these. Then we're going to just nudge this one back up, and this one. So we're actually going to just going to make them look even in side view. Let's grab this one and this one, distribute evenly, distribute evenly, distribute evenly, these distribute evenly, and then these. Okay, so I would like these to be in a straight line, ideally. So let's just grab a knife cut and then slide those to there, knife cut, slide those to there, and then again, knife cut, slide those, oops, not that one, get rid of that one, those, slide those to there. So now, because they're in a straight line, we can manipulate them in this view, and we know that they will line up how we want them. So let's have a look at this. Actually, no, so we were just doing that as a quick fix for now, weren't we? Let's go now to the center line. Let's do, so we need to get over this light here. So this line has to be at least, do you know what, let's just go and delete these. So we want this line, the back of the tailgate, to continue down here. So we're going to just, let's get rid of that one quick. So we're just going to drop these. So we're going to do at least that, and let's move this inboard, let's move these in a little bit, let's add a triangle here just to close that off. Let's nudge that up, let's nudge these up. So this is just a little temporary fix, just so we got something to work against. So let's go down with those. What we could do here, actually, we got a relatively large amount of vertices, so we could just create a wall there basically to snap onto. But before we do that, let's just have a look at what we've got so far. And let's just see, before we do that, let's just change the ground plane. So let's go to world. So the background is this color. Let's delete that. Let's put a ambient occlusion there. Let's put a color ramp here. Let's make the ground plane that color. And actually, let's create a. Let's give it a HDRI. I'm using the Gaffer add-on. All it does basically is it creates these nodes for the background, and I'm just going to filter them by my favorites, and then let's here change this to scene light and scene world, and then let's choose something nice. And what's nice? Is that nice? Oh, I think this is the HDRI that I made. What a coincidence. Yeah, let's use that, shall we? Can we get 4K? Yeah, we can. Oh, nice. That was a genuine, what's the word I'm looking for here? Genuine something. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to attach those two nodes here, and then we're going to put a light node here. We're going to stick it into here, and then we're going to change these two nodes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to right click here, and we're going to show collapse, and no, not that one. So I discovered this earlier. If you right click here and you show hide unconnected sockets, it does that. It's so nice and clean, very satisfying. Anyway, let's get back to this. So let's just drag this over to here. Let's make that shadow a bit darker. And let's just make sure, yep, that's correct. This, why is that still showing up? The background, the visible background should be 0.03, so this one, 0.03, so you should not be able to see it, but you can. And the reason for this is, let's see, what's the reason for this? I know what. So the reason for this is, we've got here under visibility, no we don't actually, I thought I had shadow catcher switched on here, but it will be something to do with that. So let's change this to ground plane. Let's delete that. Let's create another plane, not a cube, a plane. And then let's put that on the ground and let's give that a ground plane shader. And it's still visible. Why is this? Why is this? All sorts of mishaps happening today, isn't there? Is it to do with that HDRI? If we tried a different HDRI, would it make a difference? Let's have a look, shall we? So let's go for this one. And let's plug that back in there. No, it isn't. Very strange. All right, let's try this again. Right, delete new, delete that. Let's create a color ramp, and then let's create a ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion goes in there, that goes in there. The ground is the same color as the background. That's one, that's one. That's just got me. I don't know why that is. So this basically should not be visible, but it is visible. Actually, is it visible, or is it just a grid that's making it look like it's visible and it's actually not? Let's have a look. No, it's not the grid at all. Scale that up. Oh, hold on. So it's got, yeah, so it's something to do with this. Oh, it's because the shadow of the car is taking up the whole of this square. So if we increase it, because the shadow ends there, that's why. Jeez. I mean, it is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Well, 7:40 really, but anyway, right, let's go. Let's go, ground plane, and let's disable selectability, disable selection. Right, okay, so I think that looks a little bit odd, and it's concave there, and it just looks long and blah blah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this row of vertices, and then we're going to choose or isolate the center line, and we're going to build a really nice curve. So let's distribute those evenly, and then let's distribute these three evenly as well, although it doesn't look very even, does it? If we do that and then we copy this, is that the same? Oh, maybe it is. Wow, that's interesting. This definitely looks shorter than that, doesn't it? Hold on, let's just try that again. Let's duplicate that. Let's put the 3D cursor there. Let's rotate that, and that is in fact the same, even though that looks longer than that. Anyway, right, let's crack on. Let's add a vertex there. Let's make pivot point active element. Let's move that up, and let's grab these by here and then scale this up in Z. And is that a little bit too high there? Maybe it is. So let's leave these two, and then let's scale these up. Like this. And then let's just grab these. Like that. And let's grab that one. And then let's move that one down a little bit like that. So that's going to be our center line. Do we want it any higher than it is? I think we do maybe. So let's go like this. So we're going to have big curve and then smaller, smaller, smaller towards the front. And then it shoots off to the front there like that. So that's what we're going to go with. So we've got a little feature there which we need to keep. But at the back here, let's add a loop cut there. Let's join those. And then let's have a look at this. So let's grab these, move them over. Let's grab these, move these over. Slide these down. And then let's just grab these. So what we're going to do at this point is let's reduce this for the 5th time. And then let's hide the wheel for it, or let's make the wheel disable selection. Select the scalar, put the cursor to selected, select all, move origin to 3D cursor, select all, select scalar, then select all, and then parent that to that. Let's have a quick look at this. So let's select our scalar, and then let's scale everything in X. And then let's move these up so we've got a nice gradual transition from the center line to the next vertex along, which is that one. So that's looking good. Let's nudge that out a little bit, and then let's move this one down. Then let's move these ones up as well. And then over here, we're going to have to do something there. Okay, let's move these up. So something's going to happen there. Don't worry. And let's grab these, and these like this. And then let's see what we've done here, shall we? Let's change that back to 1. Let's look inside. So we've made a little bit of a mess just there. That's okay. There we go. So that's the edge. Slide those. Okay. Right, so let's just add a loop cut here. Press C to make sure it goes through everything. And we can just grab these, get them closer, nudge that along. Probably need a vertex, an edge loop there somewhere, but for now, we're going to make bigger changes while we've still got a little bit less geometry. What we could do just temporarily is we could just merge these and put a bevel weight on there, and then let's put a bevel modifier on there, put it to the top of the stack, and let's go and have a snack. And then let's quickly grab these, slide them down, put a bevel weight on those. Let's quickly where is reference? Right, so we've got a crease there and one there. So this goes down, this dips down and comes back up again. So it looks like this line will need to be a little bit higher. And for now, I think we can just delete those and these, and we can just bring them back when we're ready to reintroduce that crease or to refine it, because we're not quite getting rid of it. It's just not visible because all the neighboring surfaces are all over the place at the moment. But okay, let's move that to there. Right, okay, so what we need to do is, so that's going to go down. Let's see how far that crease goes. That crease goes all the way to the back. So we could do the same, and we will do the same. So it's going to go like this. So let's grab these, put the bevel weight modifier on there. Let's just adjust this, and we could probably get rid of these as well for now, just while we're working this line. Okay, let's put a subdivision modifier on there as well. We can check our lines. So it looks like we've got a bit of a flat going on here, so we just need to raise these up a little bit. There we go, that's nice, isn't it? Much better than that flat, but then we've got a flat here now. So let's move these up as well. There we go, that's much better. Good, okay. We could potentially, we're going to have a little flick at the back. Let's have a look at the reference. There is no flick at the back, or is there? Is there? Yeah, there is a little flick there. So what we'll do is we'll just grab these and just nudge them down a touch. And that one goes a bit further because it's further out. So let's have a look at that. That's a nice line. That is a nice line. So now this one is a bit funny. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise this line as well so it follows. This petrol cap is useless now, so we can get rid of that. And right, let's just fix these lines now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our world famous planarizing technique. So we're going to choose that last one. We're going to rotate it so it's driving into that nicely. And actually, before we do any more, let's do our other world famous trick of scaling that like so. And let's just have a look at how this line is running. And I think it's running quite nice. And in this view, it looks like that could go up a touch. And we don't want, well actually no we do, we don't mind that line being taller than Y0, or do we? Do we want the highest part of the car to be at the center, so let's make sure that none of these are any higher than the center line. Let's have a look at these quickly. Yeah, so that's going down a bit. So that's dropping there. Let's have a look. Is that one dropping? No, it's not. So that goes down a touch. This goes down a touch like that. Almost parallel. Sorry, I mean it is parallel. What I mean is almost the same height. That one is a little bit below, and then this one just below that one as well, and this one is already doing that. Perfect. Right, so now that we've gotten here, let's check that line again, and then let's grab all of these points and we're going to flatten it. So what that's done there, if we just turn off our scaling trick, put one in there, turn that back on, so what that's done is put that on the plane. So this feature is on a plane, which is what you want. So you want big lines like that to be, and I'll say it again, on a plane. It does look a little bit flat in this area though. So I think we need to add a bevel here, like so, and then let's move these back and then these back. So we've got gradual, so big, smaller, smaller still. And then we might need to just grab these and nudge them up just a touch. If we zoom in there, just a touch, and let's put on a subdivision modifier of 3, and that is a very nice line now. We could potentially move these up a touch just so we got a little bit of a peak just there, but that's good. We're happy with that. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to just change that to 0.5 and this to 2 to accentuate that crease a little bit, just temporarily, because I think we potentially want to just move these out a little bit, just so there's a little bit more movement there. So if we just grab these, deselect that one, nudge those, deselect that one, nudge those, deselect that one, nudge those, deselect that one, and nudge these. So we've got a little bit more movement here, and I wonder if it wants to move out further still. Let's have a quick look at the reference. What's the reference doing? So that's pretty close actually. I think we probably go out a little bit further there, but that's okay. Our bonnet is a bit longer, so that's good. And then let's see what we've done in side view. Let's isolate those. Isolate these and these, making sure that these are always lower than the center line, which they are. And then we're going to planarize these again and then see what we get. So let's grab these and planarize before and after, before and after. And let's just quickly see it in side view. So before, after, before, after. So it's flattened it a little bit here, but it's added curvature in this view. And how do we feel about it flattening it there? I don't think we mind, so let's keep it. And then let's have a look. So it has ruined the relationship a little bit there. So on this occasion, what we'll do, so we do like what it's done in plan shape, in plan view, but it has moved away from what we wanted to have relative to the center line. So this time we're going to move the center line to match that line and see how we feel about that. So we're going to move that one up. We're going to move, this one could go down a touch. This one could go down a touch as well. This one needs to go up. This one needs to go up. And this one also needs to go up like this. And then that goes up like that. There we go. Okay, and let's see how that's looking. And that is looking a-okay. Right, so let's now move on to the next row of vertices. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and match. Actually, while we're here, let's just treat ourselves to the little dip that goes in there. This is a little bit risky because we might make more changes to this, but let's hope we don't. So let's hide that one quick and that one, and let's add an edge loop here, a bit more to that side and that side, and make it parallel to that edge. And let's nudge it down a little bit like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to grab, deselect those, and we're just going to scale that up, scale it up in Z, and let's bring those back up. Let's create an edge loop there. Let's delete that, slide that over a touch, and over here at the back, let's just join those for now. And let's again go from center, scale in Z until those look flush, and let's have a look at that. There we go, very nice, very nice. They could probably go down a touch as well actually. So if we grab these and then scale them down in Z, and then we're going to go from this one, and we're just going to go to a view where we can see it sort of across car line, across, and let's go down in Z, and we've got a nice gradual transition from the rear to the front, and that is a lovely line. That's a very nice line. So now let's move on to the outer edge, or the outer crease, should I say. And what we can do here, we can do the same thing here really. We can get rid of this one for now, and if we turn off auto merge, then we can get those to be in the middle like that. And this crease, we probably want this crease to be going up and over and aiming for somewhere like here, I think. So it's aiming there on that one, but we don't have that. So is it going straight and it goes in, or is it just one consistent? It looks like it's going sort of straight and it goes in like that. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to grab these and just slide them along so they're doing what we want them to do in top view. And let's turn off this bevel weight on here. Let's delete that edge actually. Let's put a bevel weight on this one. Let's just slide that over like that. And let's have a look at that line. Okay. Quite happy with that line. It could maybe move in a little bit just there. So let's just grab these and slide them along like this. Slide, and then these. So this will be the widest point here at x0. And then let's see how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. In side view, turn off subdivision modifier. So that line there, we want it to be running nicely with that one up there. So let's do our world famous scaling trick. Change that to 0.2. Let's maximize that. Let's isolate those. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to nudge. So in top view, we were happy. And then we're just going to nudge these in side view so that these two lines run nicer with each other. Like so. There we go. So this is the center. So we want them to be, we want this relationship to be tapering towards the front. So at the back, it's going to be quite parallel. and then as it gets to the front, it's going to taper. Oops, it's going to taper until it hits the front of the bonnet, like so. There we go. So they look quite nice. Subdivision modifier on. Let's see how that's looking. It looks like it could drop a little bit just here like this. How's that looking? Yeah, that's looking nice. Let's turn off the scaling trickery. And actually, it looks like it's pinching a little bit just there. So let's just nudge those like so. And let's nudge that one. Looks like maybe these two could go down a touch as well. And now this one could go down. And how's that looking? Maybe this one go down as well too. And this one. Okay, maybe these could go up a touch. And maybe this one goes up a touch too. Alright, how's that looking? Good? Yeah, that's nice. Right, okay, let's quickly planarize that. It looks pretty good anyway. It doesn't look like there's any S-ing going on. But let's just grab this and this. And if we go planarize, let's see what it's done. So before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Let's have a look in this view. So this is the view where really you should be able to, before, yeah, there you go, you can see that S actually. So before, you can see this is exaggerated, it's coming down like that, and it's S-ing in the opposite direction. Now if we do after, it's fixed that. So before, look in this area here, after, before, after. Good. So, and then let's quickly make any adjustments overall to that. I think we're good. Let's bring the back end in as well. So now we can just attach. Actually, hold on, what have we done here? So we've done that line there. So let's quickly work these this edge here. So this one here should have some sort of relationship between these two. So at the moment it's above this blue line here and then it's below it here. So let's fix that. So let's make it so it's always at least above it. There we go, like this. Oops, not that one, like that. Let's look at it in top view. Let's nudge it out like this. There we go. And this one is a little bit less important because this one is just adding weight to the surface rather than being an actual edge, but let's just planarize it anyway. Let's bring back the rest of the bonnet, and then let's work the outer line now. Let's grab these, let's delete those, let's delete that. Let's get rid of that one and those. We've got a square there. Okay, so now let's make this line run nicer with these up here. So if we just isolate those for a sec. So I think what we're going to do is something like this. just so it's diving a little bit nicer with it. So it's more similar to it as well, rather than, and especially because we've given this so much curvature, it was just starting to look really flat. There we go. So it's always tapering. We haven't got any pinching. We haven't got any thin to thick situations. Let's have a look in top view. Let's grab these. And so I think this is the X, the Y 0 point. So this should be the widest point here. Let's grab these out like this. And then let's quickly planarize these. Okay, it's made quite a change there. I don't like what it's done there, but that's the end one. Again, if there's any developers out there, please could you make planarize so it doesn't adjust the front, the first and the last vertex, please. Okay, good. And then let's just grab that one. Let's turn those back on. And then let's quickly slide those over. Let's turn off auto merge. Let's slide these to the middle like that. Let's what do we do here? Let's get rid of that one. Auto merge on like this, and then got a bit of a crease there. Not crease, sorry. I have funny. Oh, there we go. That's probably because of that. And I think we want a concave little shape or surface there, and that goes down like that. Okay, let's see how that looks. Let's bring in the rest of the car. So that bonnet is looking sweet. Apart from here, actually, it looks like someone sat on it. But these lines are looking nice. Perhaps a little bit flat just there, actually. But if we look at the reference, the real car, it's quite close to it. So let's move on. And let's fix this flat. This concave bit there, which is a little bit too concave. I think we'll just go with flat rather than concave. It doesn't need to be so concave. Actually, what we could do there is if we get rid of this row, which is accentuating that curve there, and let's get rid of what do we do here? So if we just go, let's go to there, let's get rid of that. And let's nudge these up. And those up as well, like this. There we go, okay. And those go up and up a little bit like this. So that should fix that. So these probably want to, so we need this to go around that corner, but could we do that with just 3 vertices there? These could probably slide along a little bit like this. And let's see, let's now add the what should we do here? Let's get rid of this somehow as well. We don't need that. There we go. So that's good. That's going off there like this. And do we need to bring these in a touch? Oops. Let's isolate this again. Just going to nudge those in. and these down like that, and then this one here looks a bit off as well, so let's raise that one, move that one forward. Very good. Okay, so let's now build this flange off here. Actually, let's quickly get rid of this triangle as well. There we go. Okay, and now let's go here, let's extrude, let's snap this to there, make sure that's the last one selected, and let's rotate and rotate, and then let's scale and oops, undo, rotate. There we go. Okay, and that's that. And what we could do here is, alright, so if we're happy with these lines, we can get rid of these bevels. So we're going to select all, get rid of the bevels, and we're just going to build them in manually. Let's slide that one over a bit like this, and then let's slide that one back like that. So let's look in a view something like this. Let's go to bevel. Let's put 2 segments. Let's change that to 1. Change that to 5. So that's how that looks. And then this one, was it this one? We do the same thing here. So bevel, and maybe that one's slightly bigger. No, let's keep it the same. Okay, good. And now what we can do, slide that one over and slide this one over. Not too sure about this being so, oops, what's going on here? If we select all and merge by distance, 13, okay. Let's join these again. Oops, let's join these again and then use that to slide up there like that, and we can delete it again. Let's slide that one over, and I wonder if we can get rid of that triangle. We don't really want that going all the way to the edge either, to be honest, so let's just go, let's try this. Oops. So we've got rid of one triangle, we've got another one there instead, but that's okay for now. So what we can do here is add a cut here and here and merge those. And let's get rid of, oops, let's clear custom split normals. And let's slide these. We definitely need to get rid of this. So we'll do that, slide that along, and then put a loop cut in there. And go to there, get rid of that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to select these and put a bevel weight modifier on these edges. So select these, let's select that one, oops, not that one, that one. Let's go all the way along, go all the way down here, and all the way down, not those, down here, and actually down there, get rid of that. Bevel weight modifier on there. And now, a little bit of fixing up to do here. Let's put a triangle in there, and then let's cut it there like that to get a quad. Bevel weight modifier on there. make that a square, like so, or do we need it? What we can do here is we can put bevel weight on that corner there as well. Got a bit of a mess going on here, so let's just add a couple of cuts in here. Get rid of these triangles, cut there, get rid of that triangle. Let's add a triangle up there. That's okay, that's a little bit too sharp there actually, so let's get rid of that, and let's have a look at it next to the tail, next to the light. So it does need to be quite sharp, not as sharp as that. So let's just bevel that, let's slide these over like that. Let's put bevel weight on there, and let's take that one off. So we've got a little bit of a funny just there. So what we could do here is if we go to this one instead, so that looks like it's fixed it. That's good, but what have we got there? So we've got a square there, now going in the right direction. We could do this. No, not this. We could do this instead. But would that be better? Where was that? It was over here, wasn't it? So if we look, yeah, so we can see that's no good. So let's go back to this one. So we still have a little bit of a crease there. So to get rid of that crease, what we would need to do is add some supporting loops there, and then if we go to there instead, let's join those, and then let's go from here to here to here like this. Let's see how this is looking. Are those surfaces any better? Yes, they are, so you can't see that funny crease there anymore. But are we happy with this, with these vertices and these edges like that? I think we are. We do have an n-gon there, but I think we just leave that because it's not causing any problems. Let's move over to the front, and the front is looking good. Right, so now all we've got to do is just join the side of this fender to the bonnet, and we will be done. Right, so let's quickly grab these and this one. So let's separate that, let's select it, and then let's turn auto merge off and snapping off. Select all, and let's go G down, down, down like this. And then let's have a look in side view. Let's go down a touch, not too much. And then now let's join this to these. So let's get rid of that flange like so. We're going to turn snapping on, and we're going to make snapping vertex and edge. So as we move these, it will snap to the edges of the wrong side. Let's turn off mirror and mirror off this one. So as I move that closer, it will snap to the edges as well as the faces. the vertices as well as the edges. Right, let's grab these, grab it by that, snap, grab these, snap, these, snap, these, snap, these, and snap, these, and snap, these, and snap, and this, and this, and these, and let's not forget these. And let's just do this for now. We probably need a little flat there because we've got a flat over here at the front. We'll get to that. Okay, and well, it looks like we've got quite a bit of work to do here actually, so let's get on with it. So there's a crease there which we actually want to go, so that crease is going down here. What we're going to do is we're going to make it run along and up to there. So let's, in top view, it's going to be doing something like this, and then it's going to go, it's going to go there, it's going to go there like that, and it's going to join onto this. So there's our flat back, and these three could potentially be a square. Well, what's happened there? So let's grab these, pull these out. Let's get rid of this crease for now. So remember, we need a crease over on that side, and actually we can do a temporary crease with a modifier. So bevel weight on those edges. Weight, change it to something like 1. So now we need this to run nicely with that. So this blue line running nicely with that one. So let's just run it nice. Just offset basically. Okay, that's good. Let's run that over like that. Okay, and then in side view, I'm just going to move them up. So in side view, it looks like at the back they're quite parallel, and then as it goes towards the front, it's going to start peeling off and it's going to taper away. And then just this one here. So let's have a look. Let's use our world famous scaling technique to make it smaller, not bigger. Okay, so this needs to go up like this. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. So it's tapering towards the front. There's quite a lot of vertices there, so what I could do here is I could duplicate that one there. I don't think we need to actually. Okay, there we go. And let's go scalar, put that to 1. And then let's see what's next. So that is looking quite, let's have a look at it here, shall we? There's quite a tall wall there now actually, so let's have a look. Let's delete our guide and let's see what the reference is saying. So this is probably going curvature this way, and it goes up in the opposite direction. So if we go back to our one, we need to do something similar. So he's doing that, but it's exaggerating quite a lot. So this needs to all come out. So let's have a look. So this, let's use this as our reference. So it will do something like this. So it's going this direction and then back up. So with that being our reference, let's make sure these are all running nice. Oh, where's my cursor? There it is. Okay. And that's running down there. So we can make this run towards here instead. Let's get rid of that and that. And let's not be too hasty there actually. So let's put a cut through there. And there you go, like that. And then from the back, let's pull these out. So it's a gradual move from front to back. So we're making a change here. So we just got to make sure what we've done, but certainly in top view, that's a move that we did want to make. But is it this one? Yeah, that one there. That's not too bad. Actually, let's leave that. That's good. Okay, so let's go. Let's move these as well. And there we go, like this. And what we could potentially do here, actually I don't think we need to, it's too late. I was going to say we could use the relax tool on these, but what we'll do here instead is we'll make the distance the same over these. So could move these over as well actually. So we'll spread these out evenly. So between these, so just we got a nicer flow, and that one will go to there like that, and then spread these out evenly. And then let's see. So we've got two triangles here which we could merge like this. Sorry, what am I talking about? Not merge. Just create two squares like that instead. However, I don't think we want to do that. So let's just keep working these, and the answer will come to us. So we probably want these to run around that wheel arch like that. And let's get rid of that for now. And then these. So what we could do here is we can add a loop cut there. So if we nudge these, nudge those. Do we want a loop cut going up? I don't think we do actually. So let's leave those. Let's move these over like that. And let's just delete the custom split, custom weight. And let's add a subdivision modifier on there. So we've got a little bit of a mess going on here for obvious reasons. So let's just fix that up. Let's select all, let's merge by distance. And let's just grab, so we don't need all of these. Do we have a missing vertex there? Yes, we do. Oops. Let's just bring the light back in to see what we're aiming for. So that's pretty good. Like so. Let's move these over like that. Let's move that one. And let's see, what else can we get rid of here? We can probably, let's see, could we do this? Okay. Probably don't need all these either, and we're going to have a weight on that edge and all of these. So that will fix that corner. We've got square. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, you've got, is that a little feature there? Oh yeah, it is. Let's see how far up that continues. It continues up a little bit there. Okay, so we've got rid of that by accident. So let's bring that back in. So that's going to go up like that. And then let's bring those up like that. And then what we could do here is just nudge those up, nudge these up like that, and then let's add a loop cut in there, and one there, and hopefully we can bring that feature back in. So let's just drag these over. Oops. Drag these over. And these, get these a little bit closer. Oops, what am I doing? Slide these over. And we're going to just pull these out a touch. Just to get that feature back in there. There we go, okay. And let's try and get rid of all these vertices here. Actually, there's quite a lot there which I don't think we need those. Now that we've got subdivision modifier on, we can use that. Let's get rid of that. And then let's run that there like that. Let's make sure this is pointing in the right direction. Put it out a touch like that. And let's pull these out too, like this. And it looks like there's a little concave bit there, so let's nudge these in a touch and this one out. And we're just going to do a little bit of general tidying up. Okay, so we've still got quite a... Oh, actually, I think that's a feature there as well, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That's quite a prominent feature as well. So let's make sure we're happy with the other surfaces. And then we can scale X, nudge these out. So if we're happy with these general surfaces, we can bring this feature back in. So these are going to be, well, this is where the feature is going to be, and it's going to, I think it's going to wash out because it's not the front, is it? So it actually washes out before the back wheel, but we're going to introduce this feature and we're just going to wash it out before it gets to the front, I think. Let's have a look. So let's first of all planarize it because it's going to be a feature. Let's move that back in. And let's nudge these out a little bit actually. Like so. And we want a little bit more curvature and top view relative to the side view, because it's bowing quite a lot here in the front view. It's quite flat in top view. So we're just going to adjust these, and actually what we could do, or what we should do, is isolate those and see if we can get them working together a bit nicer. So let's do something like this, and then towards the front it's going to wash out. So how do we think, what do we think about this? Okay, good. Right, so that's good, that's good. Let's quickly planarize it again. Before, after, before, after. That's very good, very good. Okay, so now with that being brought out, we could I wonder if we want to push this in a little bit to give it a little bit more shape. So if these go in and then flick out again, make it look maybe a little bit more interesting. So if we grab these and just nudge, nudge, nudge. This one, nudge, nudge. This one, nudge, nudge. This one, nudge, nudge, nudge. And maybe this one up. This one up and right. This one over. And these over like this. Okay, good. So let's put a temporary bevel weight modifier on that edge and see, yeah, it looks a bit flat there still. So if we look there, yeah, it looks a bit flat. So let's do our world famous scaling. Scale 0.2, and then let's just grab these and just bring them right out like this. There we go, like this. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's bring these out. I've just realised I've not had any water in a very long time, so I'm just going to have a little. Very important to hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate. Right, how are we looking here? I think we want to do something like this. Widest point being here, of course, as we know. Okay, there we go. And let's look in side view, which obviously shouldn't have changed. Let's turn the scaling off. Let's choose that, select that edge again, and then let's planarize. Planarize. So this is after, this is before, this is after, before, after, before. So it's flattening it a little bit here. Before, after, sorry, after, before. So I think we're going to undo that. And we're going to try it again, but with these vertices. We're going to go planarize now. So no change in side. I'm starting to wonder if it's just planarizing it in. No, actually, no, well, it's best fit, isn't it? Okay, so it's planarized it, but still looking a little bit flat here. So let's just nudge these out. And there is a tool to go normal. Actually, scale, if we do normal, what we can do here is we can move these, and they'll be moving it along the normal so that it doesn't ruin the planarization, although we've undone the planarization, so it doesn't matter. But if we select these and we planarize, and now if we nudge any of these along their normals, so in this case it will be the Z, it will remain planarized. So I think maybe a little nudge here, a little nudge here, and we've got a much nicer line there. It does look a little bit flat just there, and actually it looks like it's maybe going in on itself, so let's just rotate it like this. That's better. Okay, it's bowing a bit too much there now, I think. So let's just grab these like this. So we're just going to do these ones by eye, then we're going to planarize it. Select these, planarize. That is a much nicer line. Okay, good. So we're happy with this line. Let's take off that bevel weight modifier, and then let's just manually add a bevel there. Let's make that quite sharp. Let's make it similar to the bonnet. So that was a 5, I believe, and a 3 in there. Oops, not a 3. That would have been a 2 in there rather. And 5 in there, is that right? It's good, and 1 there. How does that look relative to the top? Okay, that's good. Okay. Just undone it. Right, there we go. And then let's just attach, slide these over like this. So let's go, let's wash that out there. Like this. We can get rid of some of these. What's going on here? Oh, there's a feature there. Okay. Let's bring those round like that. Let's slide those over, and then let's fix the back as well. So let's fix this. So we're going to wash this one out here somewhere. Let's get rid of that one, that one, that one, and that one. Slide that over, and let's go. So we want this to go to 1, like this, and this is not going to shade up very nice, so let's just do something like this. And then this one, let's go down to here, slide that over like that. Let's get rid of that one. Let's move that over. Let's have a look at it in reference to the light. So it's looking a little bit round there, so we can, we knew that. Let's slide that over a touch. And then let's slide this one. So we're going to tighten that one. And that looks okay, I think. This one looks a bit tight now. Slide those over, slide these over like this. And I'm becoming conscious that my voice is becoming somewhat monotonous. So I'm going to quickly just finish up this corner and add a add a bevel there quickly. Let's make that a 2. Let's make that a 1. Let's slide these over. Let's slide those over like that. Let's add a loop cut here. Let's add the flange to this edge. So we're going to go normal. We're going to go extrude, middle mouse button. Oops. Did that work? No, it didn't. Extrude, middle mouse button to go normal. Oops. There we go. Okay, good. Now let's extend that out a little bit and then let's match, let's snap that to that. And let's select an edge loop that goes all the way around the perimeter. So we need to come back to this because that's got something funny there. Oops. There. There. Gonna go all the way around here, go up here, go all the way around here. Here, let's select this one. And these go all the way around here, all the way around here. Go here. Let's see, let's go these, this one, bevel weight on that edge. And then let's make that a 1 and that one a 2. And then let's fix these. So let's add a bevel weight there. Let's add a cut here. Let's fix what was going on up here. So we need to just go, that needs to go to there, and then get rid of this. So what we need to do here is we need to add a supporting loop there. Oops. So we need to go up like this. No, hold on. We need to get rid of this triangle basically. Alright, let's leave that for now actually because it's minor. And I think we're going to leave that for now. Let's have a look with the wheel mirrored over. Let's choose the rear wheel, which was wider. Let's add a mirror modifier to the rear. What's going on? We've got a redundant. Let's select rear wheels, isolate. Oh, we can't, we've got selection switched off. Select the rear wheel. Let's select one of the components. Let's add a mirror modifier to that. Then select all, and then let's go to link copy modifiers. And I think that is going to be the end of this live stream. My voice has gone very monotonal and a bit drony, so I do apologize. I think I need some sugar, so that's a lesson there for you. Make sure that you always remain well. The most important thing is make sure you get enough rest, make sure you stay hydrated, and make sure you have enough blood sugar in your blood, because then you start sounding like me, but you still get decent results, so that's okay. So anyway, we're going to leave that for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I do look forward to doing one of these next time, when I don't sound like a robot. Thank you very much. Speak to you again in the near future. Goodbye.